I'm sorry I'm on a call, but I'll be off in a few minutes. Okay.
And I'm going to, Alicia, why don't you go ahead and unmute? And Alicia is going to start us off this morning.
All right. Hey, everyone. Good morning. I hope you guys had a great Christmas and great New Year's. And I just can't believe it's already January 2nd. Like, we're in 2021 and here we are. Like, my mind kind of still is in March of 2020, right? Like, I cannot believe that's going to be in another 90 days. So the purpose for this, first, thanks so much for getting on. I know this was so last minute, and look how many, like, we have everyone on, like, so many people are on. I'm so excited. I was kind of nervous, like, oh man, a lot of people might be watching the recording. So thank you guys so much for just taking the time this morning and maybe getting up early or whatever you're sacrificing and trading for this. Thank you. And I know it's going to be super valuable to you if you just kind of like submerge yourself in, like, just really take in everything that we're going to share this morning and just share our hearts with you. And the reason we wanted to have this is I was talking to Shaylee and I was talking to Laura, and I was like, this year's been a really hard year. And I feel like we as a leadership team, because you guys, whether you feel like it or not, you are the leaders of the Laura Lance Nation and of Inspire Nation. You guys are the leaders. And if us as the leaders are all feeling the same way of like, what just happened? Like, you kind of feel like burnt out, like we've been spinning our wheels. We've been trying so hard to not get discouraged, right? That sometimes it's like, all right, like, can we just sit for a minute and just acknowledge this year kind of has been hard. And I'm like, if we're feeling like this and our team's feeling like this, the people on your guys' team are for sure feeling like this, if they haven't fallen off already. Okay, so we're going to kind of talk about that in a minute. So we wanted just to come on here with all of you guys and just first kind of break it up into 5 parts. So we're all going to talk for a couple minutes. And I just want to address that this year was hard, right? The pandemic, virtual learning, working from home, so many unknowns, so much anxiety then in the world. And then Arbonne, FTC stuff. We can't post before and afters anymore. We have to put disclaimers. Like, so many times in our life the last few months, we've really had to pivot. We've had to be like, that's not what I'm used to. I have hard shift on that. Like, so many unknowns that it's mentally draining, right? And I think as hard as we fought to have it not affect our business, because we gave it a really good, like, we fought it really hard. Many of us were like, we're going to get through this. This is what winners do. We're going to figure it out. And I'm so proud of all of you for being on here and still being here, because you guys, most people aren't. Most people let this year totally, like, Arbonne was not a priority at all. Like, that's the thing that got checked off the list because they were so focused on everything else, which is fine, but you guys are different, and that's why you guys are leaders, and that's why we wanted to encourage you guys and just kind of say, like, this year it was hard. If as you were closing December, which I know a lot of you guys did not have, like, you did not meet your goals December. Maybe you ended 2020 less than you ended 2019, like, or you just kind of ended a little disappointed. Like, that's not where I wanted to be when the ball dropped, right? When we say January, where do you want to be in your business when the ball drops? And a lot of you, maybe you're like, I went backwards. I lost the title. I was stagnant. I had no growth, that it's okay. It is okay. And just know that you're not alone, that there's probably more, someone on this Zoom call that's in your exact same position. And we know what happened in 2020, but we're not going to stay there, right? The purpose of this call in 2021 is we've had a few months to adjust to, and I'm not saying new normal because I hate that word because it's not the new normal, but until, like, we get back into the rhythm. I think most of us have a rhythm now, right? We have a rhythm. We know how to operate our virtual business. Most people are in a rhythm with their virtual schooling, with their work from home. They see a light at the end of the tunnel, right, in 2021, and that's giving people hope. So we just want to kind of say, we know 2020 felt short of expectations and goals, right? We're all in this together, from Laura to your VPs to area managers to the districts to everyone. We're in the same boat, but we're going to move forward. we're gonna charge 2021, and we're gonna we want to give you guys the encouragement and the tools to do that. So that's kind of what I got to say. Laura, do you want to add anything or piggyback on that? Just, we know it sucked. We know it was hard. We know we fought a really good fight, and maybe despite of that, maybe fell short a little bit, but it's not where we're staying, right? And I think just acknowledging that, and I think a lot of times you hear like, just push it in the rug, just, it's fine, just keep going, it's going to be fine. That if you don't like grieve like a little bit, you can't be comforted and you can't move forward. So give your second to grieve for a second, and to, acknowledge that maybe it was hard, and that once you do that, you can get up and we can now go into the comforted in the next phase of that. So that's what I got. I'm going to throw it back to Laura or whoever has.
I have nothing better to say than that. I feel like I want to go grieve myself for a second before I come back here. Oh, have you guys seen on Facebook or anywhere, Instagram and stories, people looking back at their 2020 goal list? Like, it just kills me. It's hilarious. It's just so funny. But I love it. We fought a good fight. Guys, don't you kind of feel like that? Like, I showed up with my best, but that honestly was not the best I thought I had in me. But I know in those moments, that was all I had. And you know what? We're moving forward. And that's the point of this call, is to refocus, resimplify, and just go at it. We are going to talk, we're going to throw it over to Shaylee to share for a minute. Go ahead, Shaylee.
Good morning. I think I'm sick. I don't know why, so I sound awful. But I wanted to talk to you guys this morning about what it means to be a leader and a leader on this team. Whether you have a team of 5 people or you are a team of 1, whatever that is, people on our larger team as a nation see you as a leader and admire you for what you've accomplished. We all follow each other on social media. We see when you post and comment in the Facebook group, like what you do is being seen, whether you realize that or not. And what I really want you to take out of this to begin with is to realize, like, no matter how 2020 was for you, is that you have done something incredible. Like, you are in the top 25% or the top 6% of our company. That is something that is truly enviable. Like, you may not feel like it is that much. You may have just lost a title and you're not feeling that great about it, but you know how to do this business. You know how to be successful. You know how to hit those goals and do the things, right? Like, you've done something that so many people don't do, just like people getting their gym memberships on January 1st. Like, it's the same thing with having an Arbonne ID. We say that all the time. Like, you can get an Arbonne ID, but are you going to put in the work and actually be successful? Same thing with like going to the gym. Are you going to actually go to the gym and work out? Sort of a thing. But to advance, to level up, you cannot just be at the head of the pack. And honestly, if you're lucky, you will lead people that will outrun you. But you have to lead them. Big moves in this business don't come just from busting your own booty, because trust me, it will require that from you. But they come from a team that you have that's focused on one mission altogether, and it's your responsibility to lead them. So I want to touch on a few things to remind you of as you go into 2021 that is required of you as a leader, and what it's going to take to really crush this year, because I think we all just really want 2021 to be a lot better. Number one is something that I actually had on my phone when I was going area. It was like my background on my phone. It was a cool little mountain picture. And it's that you have to climb the mountains to show other people that they can be moved. And I don't just mean your own team. I do mean, everybody in our success line, not even just our nation team, but our whole success line. Before Alicia went region, at the time, Cindy was already region, but I didn't know Cindy that well. And I know, Laura was an executive regional vice president, but I was a brand new consultant, like going district and then eventually area. I didn't see region as a possibility. It didn't exist to me because I didn't see it happening. I didn't see it happening right next to me until I was part of watching Alicia go region. I didn't even think it was possible. It's just like, oh yeah, that's something that people eventually maybe get to if they work really hard or they're in this business a long time. And I didn't see area until I watched Madison become an area when I was a brand new district manager. You have to climb those mountains so other people see that it's possible, because they will not believe it until they see it right there in front of them. And know that everything worthwhile is up that hill. And that climb, it absolutely never stops. I can tell you from experience this year in 2020, just because you advance to the next level doesn't mean that the climb stops. Your problems don't magically go away. Your need to have to work to get things done, to actually like keep stuff where you want it to be, doesn't magically stop. Like your team doesn't just magically do everything for you. That's not how it works in this business. Next is that you have to embrace change. I think Alicia talked about that at the beginning. Really, 2020 was just roll with the punches. Like Laura said, we may not have done the best we thought we were going to do, but we gave it our best. Roll with the punches and always find the good in them. It can be so easy to just set everything down because you're frustrated and something didn't go as you expected it to go. Or somebody tells you no and you were working through like 5 people, but the second person tells you no and you're like, that's it. No one else is going to tell me yes, so I'm not going to keep doing the other 3. You could have left 3 more yeses on the table if you stopped at the second one. The next one is be willing to fail, because you're gonna, promise, guaranteed you're gonna fail, but be willing to learn from that. I think Laura does amazing trainings on failing forward, so if we can find them, hunt them up, listen to them, they're great. And then I have just a couple more points. The next one is the 4 C's. The first one is competence. You know how to build an Arbonne business. You are competent in that. But in 2021, I want you to grow into your leadership competence. That's a lot of personal development. This isn't new. You hear this every time you go to a manager retreat, but what makes huge shifts in your business is everything and all the work that you do in your mind and how you become a better leader. Because like I said, the big moves in your business don't come from just you. They start with you, but they don't come from just you. They come from leading a team. The second C is courage. So again, move forward in the face of fear. Going region was probably the scariest thing I ever said yes to. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Third C is consistency. I know a lot of us started in the 90 Strong challenge, and I will be the first to say I did not fully complete that challenge. Anybody else? The rest of 2020 just slapped me in the face. It wasn't happening with my work schedule, my life. I chose bubble baths and over my work a lot of days. But it's going to take a lot more focus, consistency in 2021 to make a comeback from what that year did to us. And the last C is character. We have amazing leaders in our business, in our uplines, and I think you would agree that every single one of them has integrity, authenticity, humility, and shows a lot of love. And that's what it takes to be at the top of this company, is really developing your character. So that kind of kicks back to growing your leadership competence and personal development. So I totally should keep this to like 5-ish minutes, so hopefully I'm around there. But see yourself doing the thing first and work until. Just wake up every day, do your affirmations, and work like you are national vice president. You guys have literally already done the things. Like you know how to do it. You do more. And we are coming here and asking you to give us what you've got in 2021. Like show us the leaders that you can be, and like literally outrun us, please. Because I know Laura has more spots up on that wall behind her that are ready for more of you guys. Seriously. That was one on my list, like one of my things that kept me going towards region. I was like, I want to be in the frame. So
I love that. I work so hard for things like that too. I truly do. Like the little things that other people might not even notice. I totally like work for those. Shaylee, thank you so much. You totally hit the nail on the head with every single one of those points, and especially what you said at last, like at the very end, like show us what you got. I plan on, and we're going to talk about goals here at the very end. I plan on proving to myself that I am worthy of being a national vice president. So I'm proving to myself this year that I am the best consultant on this team. And that is my goal. And so I'm excited. I'm super nervous. I'm super nervous and super scared. But that is my goal this year, to prove to myself that I'm the bomb at Arbonne. So that's where we're going. All right, Melissa, are you ready?
I am ready. But I'm talking about goals, right? You said we're talking about it at the end, but right, guys?
Hold on. You're right. I read that wrong. So,
Okay,
well, I think it was number 3, but it should be number 4. So Cindy, are you good to talk next? Okay, Cindy, go for it.
Well, now I can't finish eating my gluten-free cookies. I got taken out of turn.
Cindy's getting in all the, even though they're gluten-free, they're still cookies. Cindy's starting the challenge Monday, so she is.
They're so good, but I got to eat them all because I don't want to be tempted. All right. So I want to talk to you guys about belief and maybe identifying any cracks that we may have had along the year. I know that when things get hard, it seems to be easy to find yourself having a little bit of crack in the belief. We start to question ourselves and question many things. And I can tell you, in my 7-year journey with Arbonne, that I have had a moment, I call it a moment, where I had a big crack in belief in myself and in what I was doing in my business. And there were probably little other cracks along the way that I encountered as well, that I'm sure all of us on this Zoom today have. But beliefs are like our mental foundation. It is what guides us and our behavior and the way that we move through life and through our business. And when we have a crack in it, it starts to like go maybe in the direction we weren't planning on it to go in. And so like it's our responsibility daily to keep that belief going. So I kind of wrote down some beliefs that can be considered cracks in our belief. And one of the big ones, I think, is comparison. I think when we start to compare ourselves to other people, and maybe that's happened to you this year. I know I've been guilty of it. I'm sure. Am I the only person? I can't be the only person. Am I? You don't have to raise your hand. I won't put you on the spot. But I'm like double-handed here. And so sometimes I really have to put blinders on, because comparison is like the death of happiness and everything, because everybody has their own journey, right? Everybody had to work hard to get where they are, and you shouldn't compare yourself, because you never know what that person was going through to get there. And maybe what you see on social media is really just, you know, the good stuff. You know, they always say you never see the bad stuff on social media. So it's really easy to like get your head stuck there. You know, believing that maybe those people, they know more people, they have more money, you know, whatever the case is, you know, everything was easy for them, you know, things are harder for me, you know, that kind of comparison. Not feeling worthy. Laura just said her goal this year is to feel worthy of you know, her business, and, you know, feeling worthy. I know that that was a big crack for me. When I lost Region, I felt I wasn't worthy of being a leader. And so that's something that easily can be a crack. Feeling like you're a failure, like if you've lost a promotion, it's easy to let your mind go there, thinking you're not good enough. You know, these are things that that we just deal with, and I'm sure there's more. And I'm going to ask you guys to participate here in a minute. But what I learned through all of this is that in order to prevent that crack in our beliefs, we really have to delve inside ourselves, and self-development is so important. But even before that, number one, you have to decide. And I know everybody is probably so tired of that word, but that's like one of my favorite words, is deciding that you want to grow an amazing business and bless other people. You know, decide what your why is, because that helps that crack not maybe want to open so much when things get hard. It's kind of like what I call like your sealer. Like when you've decided, you've kind of like sealed over the cracks that could possibly happen, and it helps make you more motivated. So you need to decide that you're just not going to give up, because the only way to fail in this business is to give up, right? But changing your mindset is thinking, I am confident, I am capable, I believe in myself. No matter what there is, there's so much to be grateful for, right? Despite anything that's happened in 2020, I'm sure there is at least one thing that you guys are grateful for. And you have to love who you are. And the most important things is that what other people think about you is none of your business. Put the blinders on. Do not let anybody tell you any different. You know what you believe. And if building your business and hearing people chatter on the side get into your head and start to crack your belief, tune them out. I've unfriended people who put a little too much chatter in my ear when I knew I was laser focused on building this business. Because coming back from losing my promotion, I really, really had to get my head on straight. Belief had to become my like entire entity. And so even if that hasn't happened to you and you've still had moments where you've like backed off your business instead of moving forward, having belief is like, it's just the important thing. So self-development, like I said, number one, absolutely number one. We have a book club, which Laura, are we starting book club up again? Yes. Okay.
That's something we're going to talk about after.
Okay, perfect.
These are staying on after this to make a few decisions for this. So.
All right, so book club. You guys, book club was amazing. It held you accountable to reading and staying like focused on the book, and the books were great. I learned so much from the last book that we just read, and I wish I had read it years ago. It would have helped me through my business so much more than it helped me just now. So being a part of book club makes it fun, yet holds you accountable. Listening to SoundClouds, listening to trainings. I know that each of our individual regions are posting trainings and inspirational things for us to listen to keep our mind right. Because you guys, seriously, you have to, I can't get my words out today. I didn't get to finish my cookie, so now I'm like, get things straight. But hold on, I think I wrote it down. So that, I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. So establishing here, sorry, sidetrack. So establishing your belief in eliminating the cracks in it is important. And with that, you need to be honest with yourself. Do not believe lies that you tell yourself, only believe the truth. Having passion for your business. So remembering your why, what motivates you to get up and work every day. Integrity, so holding yourself accountable. And purpose, let your purpose be your motivator. So I wanted to open this up to everybody right now and see if anybody, if you're willing to, don't feel like you're obligated to, but is there any crack in your belief that you wanted to bring up that I didn't mention, that maybe you wanted to bring up and like we could chat about? I couldn't have covered them all, did I really? Wow.
I thought it was great. I mean, we talk about having a crack in believing in yourself, a crack in believing in Arbonne, a crack in believing in our products, or a crack in believing in our industry. And so just think through those four things, because the analogy is, say, like you're a water jug, and if you have just one crack in any of those areas, your jug is going to leak and you need it to be full and you need it to overflow. It's the perfect analogy for that. So just think through that today. And if you have like a certain area where you're hesitant or unsure and you think it's affecting you in the way where it's holding you back, or you're not bringing your best self to your business, talk to your VP, because that only heals through self-development. And I guarantee you, your VP has books and trainings and podcasts for you to listen to on that very specific thing that'll help move you in the right direction. So, anybody at all?
I just want to add.
Oh,
something
Nicole.
with
Okay. Go ahead, Alicia. And then Nicole has something.
I just was like, with the 4 pillars of belief, I love that visual, because I literally, Cindy, I love what you said, like making the decision is like a sealer. I've never heard of that. Like, what a great visual. Like, I literally envision like concrete or like a visual,
like shellacking it.
Yes. And I feel like as coaching people and just for myself, the biggest belief, the crack in our belief, it's not the products, because the products are amazing. Like most people, if you're a consultant on here, we love the products, right? The industry, maybe sometimes when you hear people like bash network marketing, all that stuff, that could put a little crack in your belief. But there's so many books and podcasts and people that's, I feel like, an easy fix, right? The industry. Arbonne, I mean, that's not a very often, I think people like that they're not believing in Arbonne, because I think that kind of goes hand in hand with the industry, and we know Arbonne's the best in the industry. We have the best home office ever. It's ourselves, right? That's where the crack is ourselves. And that is something that you, like, I think just going to 2020, knowing it and stop hiding it, that maybe you have a crack, a belief in yourself, and then use, like Cindy said, use that sealer and and let's fix it. Let's move forward. So that's all I want to add. So go ahead, Nicole.
Hey you guys. So I don't know, like I feel like my biggest crack lately, sorry, I have Sarah's psycho puppy running around, is that I feel like I am not good at sponsoring anymore. Like I haven't sponsored someone in a really long time, and the last person I sponsored, she was so like ready, and then just like fell off, just like a lot of people always do. And like part of me knows that that's not my fault, and that I'm not in charge of what other people are doing. I heard not a really long time ago, a while ago, that we don't claim that we are responsible for people's success. So why do we claim that we're responsible for people's failure? But still, like, it still is in my brain of like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Or what kind of conversations am I messing up that are leading to me not sponsoring? So that's like my biggest crack that I want to work on in 2021, because I want to be a region this year, and I know that I need a sponsor. And I just like, I'm struggling with that part of it.
Well, you're not alone.
You're not alone. I think that's what I was
Amen.
going to say. Sponsoring is so low across the board for all of us. I don't know if you guys have noticed our recognition recently. Like, we went, even through midsummer, we had 20 plus new consultants in our region. We had 5 last month. 5. In our nation. We only had 5. And the month before, we had like 4. And I'm like, I feel weird even welcoming these people to the team, because like the rest of the team's going to know, like, holy smokes, there's only 4. So I think the first thing is stop thinking it's just a you thing. I think when we struggle with anything in this business, we think it's an us thing, and it's not. Rarely is it a thing where if you're doing the work, if you are doing the work, and something's up, chances are that's what most other people are experiencing. I think this is something we have to chalk up to 2020. If you are doing the work, there is just a major life shift and change for everybody. And so the way they're responding to starting a business of this kind, if it were me, life would feel really overwhelming right now to start a business of any kind. So I think we just have to give ourselves more grace. Oh, hold on. Can somebody take over for me? Ev's screaming downstairs. I got to go see what's going on. Sorry. Hold on, Ev. I'll be right back. Alicia, you got this? Okay, thanks.
I'm going to finish what I think her thought was. That I feel the same way, Nicole. Like literally, this is what kind of prompted this Zoom. Was we were talking about how everyone here probably feels the same exact way as you do. Like, and I was like, one of my goals for 2021 is to sponsor 2 consultants a month, and that's a lot because I used to like be like that was at least one consultant a month. If I was not introducing 1 consultant a month on our page, I was making up for it the next month. This year, I don't even know how many. I might have sponsored 5. I don't know the whole year. Like I have no idea. So what Laura said, I think it's just like, what would you start a business right now? I think you just get like, let's give other people grace. There are absolutely people that are starting Arbonne, right? But in the midst of virtual, and I've asked people at the business, and everyone's response was, I'm interested in a little bit, basically. Like they're like in the midst of virtual schooling right now, working from home. Like it was just overwhelming. And I understand that, right? We want to be people that are sympathetic and you know what people are going through. But like we said earlier, like people are starting to shift back to a routine and getting into the groove of things. So I really believe in 2021, we're not gonna have this issue as much. And if anything, it's going to be exponential sponsoring because all of those seeds we planted in 2020, all the people we asked, all the people that were like, I'm interested, but not right now. And they kept watching us build a business, or maybe during the pandemic, we're like, wow. I mean, disclaimer all over this statement. Like people are able to make an income with Arbonne, and they watched us do it on social, watched us not have, or, even your close family and friends. Maybe in 2021, they're going to be like, okay, after going through 2020, I really need a plan B, right? So I believe, and I'm praying and, speaking over my business, all the seeds we planted are going to be like exponential in 2021 because people are ready now, or they're going to be ready very soon. So.
And I wouldn't say you absolutely, thank you for taking over on the spot. I think it's not that life's going to go back to what it was. I don't know if we can ever truly expect that. But I think people are ready to make a decision to accept this is what life looks like right now. And I'm going to stop using it as an excuse to eat unhealthy and not take care of myself. And like, I'm going to like focus on taking positive steps forward for myself and my family. And I think people are just shifting their mindset to like, this is a new normal. And how am I going to get back to that life that I enjoyed given all of our new situation, And so I think that's why people are going to be more ready this year because the ground got uneven under us in 2020. And now it's kind of like we're getting used to it. We've gotten used to it. It's almost been a year. We know, I'll talk about this at the end, so I'll wait, but we know how to build a business now in this environment. We need to stop using the excuse that it's not like it used to be as to why we're not working, So stop telling yourself you can't sponsor, because I think that is a big roadblock that we give ourselves, and we want to be right. So the self-fulfilling prophecy just keeps rolling in. If we believe we can't sponsor, we're going to act in a way where we're not sponsoring. So I think that is key. That's the first thing. Stop thinking it's just you, and just keep do what you know to do. Do what you know to do best. And that it will catch up with us, guaranteed. I've seen this happen more than one time in my time in Arbonne, and I've heard about issues in Arbonne like this happening where things just seem really slow and really hard multiple times in the past, and those that give up wish they didn't, because those that stayed and kept going are in the top 50 of the company, okay? So let's just stay the course. All right, Melissa, talking about goals. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, you guys, for being on. And I know this is going probably a little longer than we had planned. So thank you. Thank you. Just sitting here looking at you guys, and I know I can speak for all the other VPs, but I just feel so thankful that you guys have stuck with us through what we've been through. And it has been a lot. So thank you for that. And congratulations on where everyone is at. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about goals. So And one other thing I want to mention as I hear them talk and as I'm about to speak is I never ever want you guys to think that we're preaching to you. We are also speaking to ourselves with a lot of this. A lot of what we came up with is something that we felt we needed to work on ourselves as well. So just so you guys know that, like we said, we're all in this together. So I think it's really, really important if you've gotten away from goal setting to get back into it. And again, I'm speaking to myself. I always have a goal, but some things have changed and I need to get back on track. So statistically, I tried to look this up and there's a couple different things. One article says 42%, the other says 50%. So let's just go with the 50%. You are 50% more likely to achieve a goal if they are written down. So that's what I want to start with. That's what I got away from. And all of my promotions, everything good that's happened in Arbonne, I've had written down and visualized and saw constantly. And if we know that you're 50% more likely to achieve them by writing them down, why wouldn't we? Duh, like that's a given. That's one less thing we have to work hard on. So first and foremost, I want you guys to write this down. And I'm going back to old school, Alicia. Look what I have. So we used to make these goal charts. I think Laura actually started them. And I mean, it's so silly. We have so much electronically I could do, but you know what? This was fun. This was fun to make. This was fun to track. And I want to encourage you guys to do these. Like we hung these up, we filled these in. So I'm doing it again. And I used my daughter's markers and it was fun. So if you don't want to write them down like that, that's fine. But I want to encourage you to somehow track them. Many, many times when I had goals, I did Post-it notes and I put, you know, the QV, 500, 500, 500, 500. And it was so fun to just rip it off the wall when, you know, you had these goals and you started to accomplish them. So just make sure they're written down. I used to have my $40,000 region goal written in my shower in lip liner. And, I got rid of it and never replaced it. Like, what the heck? You know, you stand there and you stare at it. It's so important. So I just really want you guys to write them down. And one thing we're going to do after this call is we're going to start a leadership box for all of us. And I thought it'd be fun if we just like creatively made our own like fun goal sheets and shared them with everyone. Okay, so there's lots of goals you're going to want to set. You want to set personal goals, of course. Obviously, we're on here to talk more business. So you want to set personal business goals, so meaning your own personal business and what you're working on, and then team goals as well. And then I want you guys to break them down. I want you to break them down as you're thinking about this year by month, by quarter, and by year. So I'm going to give some examples of what I'm talking about. So for example, a personal goal would be something like 5,000 PRV per month and 10 signups. So that's mine. It may be 2,500 PRV and 5 new signups. That should be the minimum for us on here as leaders, just so you know. But you know, I always try to have a little bit more. So that's going to be a personal monthly goal. Okay. But then I also have personal goals for the year. So for example, I want to promote 5 more areas. I want to promote 2 regions. Okay. So you want to have your personal goals broken down by that. And then you also want to have, I'm going to talk more about activity at the end because that's a big thing, but you want to have your personal activity goals. So for me, 2 to 3 events per week. So I really want to break this down rather than looking at the big picture because that can be overwhelming. But if you can break it down even to per week, I think that's going to be really important. And again, I'll talk about that at the end when we get to, when I talk a little more about activity. So hold on one second, personal goals. So team goals, where do you want to be as a team? Do you want, and going back to personal goals, it may be something like you're a district, you want to be a bonusing district. It could be something like that. Okay. But when then you get to your team goals. So team goals, my team goal is, for example, to region bonus consistently. Okay. I also have volume goals. I also know that this region, the Parsons region, is going to go nation in 2020. So that's a big goal. So you just really want to look at it like that, but then you want to look at it per month. So, well, let's go to, well, you have your per month, but I want to talk about quarterly because whether we like it or not, statistically, there are some months in Arbonne that are going to be bigger than others. And I don't mean that in a way like there's going to be bad months. I'm just saying, for example, GTC month is always huge. And it's always going to be like that because lots of products are launched and lots of stuff is happening. So an example of a quarterly goal I want to suggest would be to get to a certain place January through March. Okay. Let's say you are a district. So you want to be a bonusing district by the end of March. Okay. And then go into area quals in April and finish your promotion in May. And there's some method to my madness there because May is GTC month. So like I said, no months are bad in Arbonne unless you make them bad. I mean, they could end up not as good and that's out of your control sometimes, but we do know some months are better than others. So right now we want to really, really focus on growing, but have your goal, your promotion goal too, I think is important to know when you want to push for it. Quarterly, yearly, I talked about that. So I talked about, make sure they're where you can see them, make sure you have your chart, and you want to track them weekly is what I want to encourage everyone to do. So I want to talk a little bit about activity. So activity is the only way we are going to hit these goals. And I know it sucks. And I know that we wish they happened on their own, but they don't. And I'm going to tell you something. I know because out of all of 2020, I build my business a lot on virtual events, and that doesn't have to be what everyone does, but that's how I hit my goal of 5,010 new. That's how I know I do it. Well, in December, I had a lot less parties than I normally would. And I did hit what my average normal personal goal would be, but not what my December goal was because I wanted it to be big, double volume. And I can look back and know now it's because I didn't get in front of enough people. So it really, really, really all boils down to activity. So I want to make a few suggestions to break it down because again, looking at the month as a whole, it can be overwhelming, but I want to suggest, and your region can suggest more or less if they want, or you can talk to them about what works for you. But I want to suggest breaking down our 40 faces by week. So I think each week we need to fill out 10 faces. And I know that is like common sense, but a lot of times for me, it's like I'm 2 weeks in and I'm like, oh shoot, who have I talked to? And I'm filling it in. But I think if we stay on track throughout the month, it's going to alleviate some of the stress you feel at the end of the month trying to talk to all of the 40 faces. So if you're trying to talk to 10 people per week, okay, let's do this, then my suggestion would be to have at least 2 events per week, because my goal with these virtual events is to have 5 meaningful conversations. Of course, I send messages to 10, 20, 30 people, but you don't actually have conversations, important conversations with them. So let's say 5 meaningful conversations about the products and business. That would be 10 by 10 per week. If you do not do virtual events, or you just don't have them booked right now, and we're, the 2nd of January, I mean, you can get one booked for tomorrow. So that is what it is. But you have to think outside the box then. Host to post. I've had only 3 people do that for me so far, and it's been super successful. I had a new PC sign up. I have like 4 samples going out just from these host to post. So you can work on that. Let's see, what was I going to say? Samples. If you have to do samples, if you have to ask for referrals, if you have to dig deep into your Facebook friends, Instagram friends, and start trying to talk to people, somehow find a way to get in front of 10 people. And if you need suggestions on activity other than what I'm talking about, we can help you with that. But I think it's so important to really start to break that down by week, because otherwise the month gets away from you and you're at 2 signups trying to hurry up and figure out how you're going to hit your goal. So let's see, activity. Yeah. So after you set your goals, you have to have a plan. So that was kind of all over the place, but that's what I wanted to share with you guys.
Okay, while you're talking, I'm actually looking at your numbers, Melissa. I wanted to see, because I think Melissa was the perfect one to talk about goals, especially as we grow a business. We look at sponsoring because that's where true growth is. And despite 2020 being crazy, Melissa had the best year in your business. The best team volume consistently, but her sponsoring was almost, I don't think the sponsoring I'm looking at from last year is correct. I think her sponsoring was almost as high as it was last year, comparative
My sponsoring in 2020, I looked and I had told Alicia, because I was trying to figure out what I did different, was twice. So my volume in sponsoring personally doubled in 2020. And the only thing I can put together that it came from is my virtual events.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing I did different.
Yeah. So, killer 2020, Melissa. I mean, right? So here's the thing. This is what I want to talk about to wrap this up. 2020 was tough. Like Alicia said, pivot was the word, right? Being fluid, dealing with change, which a lot of us don't deal well with change. I'm not saying more change won't come. Who knows what the heck 2021 has in store for us? But I think we're mentally at a place where we have to stop using all the change, all like the knockouts as an excuse as to why today we're not choosing to move forward and bring our best, right? And we have proof right in front of us on our team of people who had better 2020s than they did 2019s. So truly the excuse should not be there if this business is that important to you. So the first thing I really want to encourage you guys in, and we can do this, I talk about this a lot recently, but it's because I consistently have to reevaluate my whys and make my reasons why list, the little things, the big things. I know there's new things I want to accomplish in 2021. So given this new year, oh, you're so silly. Given this new year, sit down and really think about the things you want to accomplish personally and for your family this year and attach your Arbonne business to it. Really look and see, like, how is this business going to be a part of how I accomplish these things, and really get emotionally attached, because that's what's going to keep you going. I also want to encourage you guys to remember back to the beginning of 2020 when our business was truly flourishing. Even after COVID first hit, like our April, May was killer, like the best it has ever been, right? And I think that's why it was so difficult when we literally took a hard left so quickly. But I want you guys to think back to the best time in your business, when your mindset was on point and you felt unstoppable and you enjoyed doing this. You enjoyed the activity. You enjoyed the meetings. You were in self-development. The working your business felt good and your activity was there. You were having new conversations. You were sending out a ton of samples, doing your events, whatever it looked like for you, you felt on top of the world with your business. I want you to remember that time. And I want you to try to take that emotion and that feeling and bottle it up and remember it daily as you work your business now, because you will get back to that point. This business, it just as in life, is made of hills and valleys, and you got to take the fuel from the hills to get through the valleys. So remember, you will that's what you're fighting for, to get back to that place. But this is what's so exciting. As you fight to get back to that place, that hill's going to be higher. Well, so you got to work harder for it, I guess. But that mountaintop is going to have an even better view. Every time you climb another mountain, it's an even better view. You're going to have a bigger business. You're going to have a bigger paycheck. You're going to have more people that you're leading and guiding and encouraging on your team, because you fought for the growth when it felt really, really hard. So think back to business was good, and also evaluate, what were you doing differently then? Were you reading more? Were you listening to more podcasts and trainings? Were you connecting differently on the Facebook page or with an accountability partner? Was your calendar full of more activity? What was the difference between now and then? And make that shift today. Decide today that you're going back to that place where you earned the right to be as excited and as positive as you were in your business. Decide that what's going on right now in the world is not going to stop you from believing in this. Decide that and show up every day to keep going forward. So as Melissa said with goals, what I want to encourage you guys to do, and I'm going to put up a post on the page today for you guys to share your goals. And I want them to be like a year goal. And it could be a bunch of different things. I'm going to share mine so you can see them. But what I really have encouraged the VPs even yesterday is to pick a monthly personal goal that is going to be a no matter what goal. No matter what. And I'm going to be real harsh here because I've seen people do it all the time. If you are serious about your business, it is no matter what. It is no matter if you're in the hospital. It is no matter if you're sick. It is no matter if you're traveling for 2 weeks out of the month. It is no matter if something happens with the kids' school and you have to rearrange things again. It is no matter if you're moving houses. It is no matter what. This is the goal you have decided for your business that you are going to accomplish every single month. And I want you to commit to that for 12 months. So mine, and I'm super scared of it, super scared. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It's one thing. I'm going to sponsor 10 new people a month. 10 between PCs and consultants. I've done that a lot over the past almost 10 years. But if you add it up, I mean, I probably did that once last year. Okay. 10 every month. And for me, that's a push. For Melissa, that's a normal thing for her. Like, she works really hard for that, but she's more confident in hitting 10 than I am because she's done it more than I have, right? Pick it for you. It can be a volume goal. It could be, Alicia said hers is she is going to sponsor 2 consultants a month. That is hers. No matter what, 2 consultants a month. So figure out what your personal monthly bar is and commit to it no matter what. And then set the other goals. But I think to reach the larger goals, you have to be consistent and committed on a smaller scale. And the small scale is you working your business every day. Okay. So I'm going to put up a post. I would love for you guys to share in the comments what yours are as well. And this is what I want to encourage you to do this next year. The goal is sponsoring. We know how to sell. We know how to sell product. If I told you guys that we needed to sell like $100,000 today, or I don't know, something awful would happen, we would sell $100,000 today. This team knows how to sell stuff, but we're not going to grow and get where we want to be in this business unless we add to our team new clients, new consultants. Okay. So stop thinking sales and start thinking sharing. Think about what you love about this business. This past year, as crazy as it was, I can't tell you how grateful I was for this community, right? Think about why you're grateful to have Arbonne outside of money. That is what you're offering to people. And that is what people need right now. They need positivity. They need community. They need people believing in them. They need us. They need this. That is what you're offering. And whether they say yes right now or not is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to paint the vision and to ask. So that is your goal. And then moving forward this year, we still have our same system, 40 faces. What I truly want to encourage is that you guys do what you love. I don't care how you make it happen. And I've told you this before, but I don't care. What we do is simple. It is so simple. And we tend to overcomplicate things or take simple ideas and overcomplicate them for ourselves, or in trainings, we might overcomplicate things. It is simple. You guys, we share Arbonne with people. That's what we do. That's it. We share it. And we need to be excited to share what we have. Amazing, healthy products that people are going to love, that's going to change their health and their families' lives, and a business that's going to do the same. Share with people. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you do it one-on-one. I don't care if you do it through host to post. I don't care if you talk to strangers. I don't care if you do virtual events or in-person events. I don't care. Find the part you love doing, and do enough of it to reach your goals. Okay, simple. Talk to people about Arbonne. That's it. Talk to people about Arbonne. Okay, so that is it. I'm super excited for this year. Your charge today is to set your personal bar and hit it this month. Set your bar no matter what. We are hitting it this month. We're getting the activity that we need to hit that bar. Like in the next 2 days, we're going to have the activity that we need to do that. And then we're going to post our goals on the Nation page. Okay. So a couple last minute things I just want you guys to know before we're done here. We're going to get that leadership box started for all managers and above, so we can just have that additional time to celebrate each other and encourage each other along the way. Our team meeting is Monday night, and it's not going to be so much a training like today was. It's going to be more of like a New Year's party, okay? But I need your help. I need you guys to fill out that form that I posted. I'm going to repost it on the page. If we don't get people filling that out, we have nothing to do for the party. So I need you guys to fill it out no later than tomorrow night, so I have Monday to put everything together. Got it? I need your help here. And then lastly, I have Christmas gifts for you. I want you to know I have the gifts They arrived 3 hours after we left to go to Ohio for Christmas. So those will be actually New Year's gifts now. I will be getting them mailed out here on Monday, but I just want you to know I did not forget about you. I have all of that ready to go. Okay, so that is it. You guys, let's go. 2021. It's going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be awesome, and we're all in it together. Got it? All right, thanks for getting on today, guys. Have a great Saturday.
Everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys, I'm just going to go to the bathroom real quick before we chat a little more, okay? Do you need something? What do you need? What do you need? Okay, let mommy go potty. I'll be right back, guys.
Was there a graphic for the meeting on Monday or no? I'm like scrolling and I don't see
She
one.
put up one big post. It's like, here's the January happenings, and it's like a yellow picture. I think.
That's the only one I saw. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't like another like individual graphic.
Still have 2 random people stuck. Or I can remove them though. You guys, I got an espresso machine and it's over for me.
Oh no. Hope you're not doing the 30 days on Monday.
I am gonna clean up my act, but it probably won't be a strict 30. I've been like wanting one and looking at them. I didn't want to spend the money on it. And I went on Facebook Marketplace, Morning Ave. And right now, the machine that I got, if you went to buy it on sale from them directly, it's like $130. But this girl sold it to me for $50, and she brought me coffee pods. So
Awesome.
it's life-changing, and I'm screwed.
Can't drink that stuff. It like kills my insides.
Oh, it's going to murder my insides, but it tastes so good.
Hey Ev, you should call Lena later.
Okay. You want to do that?
Okay? Yeah. She'd love to talk to you.
She can do that. She can do that. All right. I thought that was great.
That was so fun.
That was good. Okay. I'm very excited about that. Okay. So this is perfect because there were a few things I wanted to walk through with you guys for the new year. What, Evelyn? Can you turn something on?
I need more of this, more of these meetings.
Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Like every quarter we should do this just to regroup, rethink through things. Oh, look who it is. Hey, hey.
Hi, Lena.
Lena, did you have a good
Hi.
Christmas?
Yeah.
Did you, Ev?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like your little stuffy. Lena has one of those too.
Yeah. Lena, what was your favorite gift you got?
I know what she better say.
Oh, her puppy. I forgot you got a puppy.
Oh, I forgot.
I didn't.
Let me see that puppy.
I didn't. She got a puppy. You know what animal do you want? If we got an animal, what would you want?
Puppy.
A puppy? Oh, I thought you were going to say a bunny.
Well, Anna does have a bunny.
My sister has a bunny. You
Yeah.
might have told my stories about it. It
No.
is so cute. They potty train themselves,
Uh-huh.
His name is Jojo.
and they're so cute. Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
I should have got a bunch.
My favorite gift I got for Christmas was the Barbie doll house.
A Barbie dream house.
She did. Oh, I'm glad Lena walked away because she wouldn't have been happy, Evelyn.
I know. I wanted one when I was like 8, and I
Yeah.
didn't get one, and I still am bitter about it.
Oh,
A computer.
I got a computer instead, and I was so upset. I'm like, I'm 8.
right. Oh
And
my
back then, like, my dad didn't even know how to use a computer, so that was not fun for me.
The Barbie dream house is so big. That's the only reason I.
Taller than her.
Where am I gonna put it? Where'd you put it, Ev?
It's at Grandma's house.
So
Oh, okay. Oh, well, perfect. I'll get one and leave it at Grandma's house too.
No, I need to talk with them for a little bit, and then I'll put something on TV. Just go to your room and play or something.
I don't know what to
No,
play.
go. Okay, go.
I actually don't.
Well, figure it out. Then clean up your room. Either play or clean
I'll
up.
tell you what to play.
I'm not cleaning up my room.
Okay, then play. Okay. All right, a couple different things I wanted to talk through with you guys. So just so you know, I added a couple things. So first of all, the AM lives, the area manager lives on Fridays, I did not forget about those. I went to schedule them and people just kept popping on anyways on their own. So I just kind of let it go. Like Nicole got on, Amy's been on twice, Shaylee, you did a live. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to create a schedule for this till January. So I want you to know I'm
Wednesday.
still moving forward with that. I would like to include districts too, because we do only have so many areas. So if you have districts on your team that are showing up big or doing something special or whatever that you think would be able to share something, send their name my way so I can get them on the schedule. Okay, so we are going to start doing those on Fridays. And then posting days, if we could just keep those the same as we have been moving forward. Don't stress out if you miss a day. I'm not that concerned about it. I just want to make sure that our nation is hearing from you guys as our VPs once a week. And you've done great about whatever you want to post about. So I will take, so you guys have the first 4 days, areas on Fridays, and then I'll do the weekends, and then I'll be putting posts in throughout the week based on things going on and all that stuff too. So it'll just be a little bit more active than it has been. Okay, the other things I want to talk about is our website including Facebook units. I want to talk about our getting started. I want to talk about super sponsor and book club. And then if there's anything else you guys have on your radar that we want to talk through, we can do that. Okay. So first of all, the website. Are you guys using the website? What do you think about the website? Let's just kind of talk through that for a minute.
I prefer it over the Facebook.
Okay.
Because Facebook stuff, I feel like I'm hunting around for all the time. So like when I need to go find a link, I personally find it easier to go find a link there, and I want more people to use it. I want us to encourage them to use it.
Okay, good.
That's my opinion.
Good. I want to move that direction too. I think it might be, part of me wants to eliminate the units entirely and just use the website, but I know there's some people that know everything is on units, and I don't want to like be too harsh of a transition, but I don't want to like make change where there doesn't need to be change. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think we just keep things the same for now, or?
I say just keep them, and then we can refer people to what we think they'd like best. I mean, I don't think it's hurting anything.
Okay.
It's up to you guys though.
Okay.
Some people might prefer to go through units.
I think there's a pro and a con to keeping them. The pro is that people can like tag people to say, hey, go look at this. The con is that when they do that, it like forces it up at the top of the page. And so when people go to look for like, oh, there's a meeting tonight, what's the Zoom, they have to scroll down, because like Facebook's really weird with the algorithm. Like it kicks all those things up to the top. And so like even when you posted the new January 30 days group, I didn't even see it was posted because somebody welcomed a new team member and then tagged them in 3 posts or something, and it got completely buried and I completely missed it. So that's the only like con I see to having it on there.
Okay.
It's kind of just, we have to like retrain people to be like, go here.
Okay.
I don't know. It's harder.
Simpler, and I think, I mean, we all like, I mean, I know people haven't been sponsoring as much as we typically do, so it's probably not getting the use that it would normally get in a normal year, the website. I mean, I'm all for simplicity. Like, I think I personally don't use the units because I feel like I'm digging for stuff. And I just get aggravated, or Facebook doesn't load sometimes, or, you know, whatever. So I think the website's just a really nice, like, this is what we're doing to get you launched. If you need anything, go here. So yeah,
Well,
I prefer the website, I guess, to the Facebook units.
I think it's good too, because you can send that to them in a link.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can, because that's what, when I had people that were new, I would tag them in there, but then they said that they would just like rather have the link, and then it's like really, they could go to like my text really quick and click the link and
save the
Just
link
use
in their notes or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's like right there.
Yeah. Like I like the units because I know where everything is.
Sure, and you spend a lot of time creating it, and
Yeah.
so everybody's
Well,
brain works different.
yeah.
So
Like I like the website. I mean, I spent a lot of time on that too.
right, right.
I like the units. For me, my head works that way, even though the website's very similar. I do just, I want, and I know I say this every year, just simple, 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 simple. Like if everything's at one link, then, and I can just commit to making sure that that website is as up to date as possible. I kind of like having just that. Okay, I'll think through that. I am leaning towards just the website. But unless there's any major, like, I don't know what to say. I don't know the word. Anybody against that, like hardcore? No? Okay. So probably I'll this month work towards that. We'll still have units, but probably for other things. Like we might have a unit just for resources so that people have like easy access to all our links or something like that. But okay. So the website. Okay, so let's talk about the website. I would love if you guys would send me feedback on anything that's missing, anything that you would change, anything that you want to add, the layout, like if anything's confusing for you. As I make it, when I'm done, it's hard for me to look at it from a user's perspective, you know? So like this month, actually, if we could just, like, let's just try like this week. If you guys would just take time to look over that and then give me like your feedback. I'm open to all of it. Nothing will hurt my feelings. I literally have copy and pasted it from Amy Godek. I know there are some things that are still missing on there, so I need to fill those parts in. So I am familiar with that, but I want it to be user friendly. I want it to be aesthetically pleasing. I want all the information they need to be right there. So formatting, all of it, let me know if there's anything missing. I am going to start uploading trainings again with passwords. We got rid of those for a while, but I'm going to make sure those are on there so people can even go there for trainings. I might make a section in there for like podcasts, links, so they can just click on them real quick and go to them, rather than saying we can do like, these are my favorite podcasts, but if there's some that we think are really, really good to listen to for different categories like mindset or network marketing or whatever, I want to put that on there too. But yeah, just give me feedback on that. And then if it takes longer than a week, that's fine. But let's at least just give ourselves like some kind of timeline to walk through the website. Okay. And then getting started. So getting started has been like hanging over my head for a while now. I don't know why, but just part of me feels like I think this might be a personal thing. So this is why, like, I want to talk it through with you guys. I haven't been able to launch anybody in a while. I launched 2 girls recently, and the one right away was like, I don't know where we misunderstood, but I just want a discount. And I'm like, this is not the conversation we had. I think she just got scared last minute. And then the other one keeps telling me, like, keeps coming up with excuses as to why she can't book her Facebook parties. So I haven't been able to like launch through, like walk through the getting started. And I think that maybe has been playing with my head a little bit. But I just want to talk through, like, is there any part of our current getting started that you guys don't like or think needs to be changed?
Pull it up.
I'll have to look through it again in more detail because I as well have not launched anybody in an extremely long time.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I put it on your radar? Why don't we schedule to do this again? And we can talk through website things and getting started things. That way you guys have a chance to sit and really look at it. And the conversation I want to have with you in person isn't something that ends up on Voxer again anyways, like we first said. So yeah, if you guys would look at getting started and the website, that would be good. And then when we're done here, we'll find another day that we can do this together. Like actually, I'm jumping all over.
Well, the website and our getting started on the website says that every other Tuesday we have a getting started Zoom that we don't have anymore.
Yeah,
So
that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
I think we all feel the same way. Like, I think we've struggled to sponsor, and then I mean, I've heard it not just from you guys, but even like down the line, that people feel like they struggle to get people started strong, and it's a fine line of like, am I doing something wrong, or like people literally just don't want to do what it takes to build a business. Like, quite frankly, they just won't, and so you have to just move on and add more, and I think that's hard for people to wrap their minds around.
I'll be right back, guys. I just turned to the restroom.
Okay. I think part of what I was thinking is, and actually talking with you, Shaylee, in Nashville, and then Alicia and Melissa with like the success sheet and stuff, is like, I just want people to know that to build this business, you got to talk to people about Arbonne. I'm going to teach you all the different ways you can do that. And then you need to pick what feels best to you, and you got to do enough of it to be successful. Like, that's kind of like where my head has been. And so like, I think we have to teach people how to do Facebook events. I think we have to do that, because even if they just do a couple a month, it's the main way to get in front of new people. Like, I don't know how else you're getting in front of new people unless you're getting creative on social media. And I'm not going to teach somebody how to use Instagram. Like, like, you have to decide, I want to meet people through Instagram, and do that research yourself, like, and figure out how to build a social media platform. So we need to teach people how to talk to people one-on-one. We need to teach people how to promote themselves on social media to get interest, and how to have those follow-up conversations with people and start conversations with people, and then how to do Facebook events. And so I think getting started is good. I think we create the client page. We do the first Facebook event in there to get the kickoff going. You find 4 other people to do them for you, so you're immediately out there in networks. I think maybe where I drop the ball is teaching people that it's just like, the goal isn't Facebook events. The goal is talking to people about Arbonne. Facebook events is one of the ways to do that, like, so I don't know if that's something we can include in our getting started.
I have just, I don't even know, like an idea or something I think of. Like, I just love the 40 face sheet, like, because that's what it comes down to. And I love, even like Melissa saying, like, 10 people a week. Like, this is how I personally do it, is through two events a week or whatever. But maybe, like, the problem I have with the DMS sheet is I think there's a lot of extra on there that's not necessary for a new consultant. Like, they don't have clients to follow up with. They don't have a team. They don't have, and it's just like, to my mind, it's like cluttered, like every day it's like, they don't need like the bottom half of it. I guess if I were to do something that I do every day, like maybe have like a list of like, this is how you can meet people. Facebook events, like give them like just like a list of, these are ways to reach out to new people, host a post, samples, Facebook events, product drop-offs. And then like on the other half or on the back, the 40 face sheet, and you need to fill out that. And then you need to have your personal development, a new consultant, and your affirmations. Like, I feel like it could be really, really simplified, because like the follow-up and stuff, like once you have clients, I think most people know that, I mean, maybe I should not over assume that most people know to follow up. Like, I don't think, I don't know. I feel like it almost puts like unnecessary pressure on people, for that. When
for me, when I follow up, I do it all at once.
Me
like,
too,
I'll
right?
sit down for an hour and message all my PCs.
Same.
I don't
like
do 3 a day.
Mm-hmm. I don't, and even when I do my asks and stuff, some days I'm doing a ton of asks, and some days, because I just came off a Facebook event, and then sometimes I'm booking the events, and then the following week I'm asking everyone, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it never is fully like jiving, and it's almost over. Like, if to re-simplify everything, just focus on the 40 face sheet, and this is how we do it.
Yeah. Some people are so like OCD, they have to fill in every box, and it's like,
right.
And that's the same for me. Like, some days I'll sit, like today I need to book events, so those are where my asks are going. And then next week I'll be like asking people to do 30 days for the next, so it's not like one given thing. Okay. All right. So I wonder if we could create, so the 40 faces and then a sheet of just our activity. I'm just trying to like think through my head.
Yeah. Just an idea, because when I'm getting people started, that's what I mean, or what I'm doing every day. Like what am I doing to build a business? I'm focusing on the 40 face sheet, and this is how I'm doing a bunch of different activities to get in front of people,
Yeah.
and then throughout the month I'm following up and doing different asks and stuff. Like it just, the sheet gives me like anxiety. I'm like, it's just not how I operate. And then Carrie, we were talking about, in Nashville, Carrie was like, she listened to some training by Tara Brasma or something. It was like, she doesn't do the DMS sheet. She has a notebook and she writes 6 things she does for her business a day. That's any 6 things, because some days that might be different. And I've adapted that since Nashville, and I've kind of talked to some of my girls that felt completely overwhelmed and then in turn discouraged by the DMS, the 90 strong, like I was telling you about. And I'm like, have a notebook and write 6 things down. So I literally have a notebook, and since like probably November 9th, the day whenever we got back from the retreat, 6 things I do. I write 6 things for my business every day, and I don't feel like I've worked any less than I did when I, did the DMS sheet.
Yeah.
So do you, I like that. So for your 6 things, do you is it like follow up with all my PCs, book events, or is it like ask Sarah, ask Jessica, ask, like, how do you categorize
Here's
it?
an example. I said for one of them, I said one of the things has to be asks. That's what I told Madison. I was talking to Madison. I'm like, one of your points, one of your activities, you need to be asking, whether it's 1 person or 5 people. That might look different, based on your activity in your day. So like November 12th, message Linda about the Age Well set. 2, post in events. Ask Christina, Mary, and Kim for events. 4, ask about healthy habits. 5, follow up with these 3 random PCs. 6, team reach out to Jackie and Jackie. And that was one of my things for the day. It's basically taking the DMS points, like the basic principles that we use that I think are no-brainers for building a business, and just changing them. But the next day, I didn't ask anyone for events. But then the day after that, I asked 2 more people because I probably met them for an event, or, I had a sample follow-up or whatever, for them. So I just take 6 things and I write it, right out. And I've recently been doing I add a 7th, and it's just me writing out my affirmation or my goal all in one notebook. But that works for me. So I don't know. I know other people, so that might not work for other people,
Well, and here's the thing, I think we want to keep things simple. And when we say that, it means one thing for everybody. When it comes down to it, we all work differently. We got to figure out, for some people, they love the DMS sheet.
Oh, that's Paula.
Yeah.
Paula loves that sheet. Her and Amy are together right now, I think, working on their.
That doesn't work for you. Here's another thing. What it comes down to is, and as we coach people, we need to be open to hearing how they work and coaching them in that, but then also encouraging them to know there's different points in your business where you need different things. Right now, I need activity. I have nothing going on. I need events because I need to meet new people. So that is my goal this week.
Right.
Next week, it might be something completely different to keep the ball rolling and, want to get the momentum that you need. So those 6 things change as your business progresses, so.
Really quick, this is still recording. Did you know that?
Oh, no.
I was going to tell her at the end because she'll have to cut it down.